Okay. Hey there. I'm just gonna take this a bit closer. There. So, the music is probably pretty loud, so let's turn that down ever so slightly. Yeah, so there is no video for today because I just haven't had any time to actually edit anything. So I'm just gonna work on a few things today, and we're just gonna stream and see how things go. I do need to make a sort of social post. Let's see. Music is alright. It seems like it's pretty okay. Alright. So, yeah. Just gonna wait for people to show up a little bit more and then we're gonna get to it. One thing though. Hey, Density524. Thank you very much for following. Welcome. We're that much closer to the first 100 followers, and you're to thank for that. So, what I am going to start doing is first make a post. So yeah, streaming now. Come and hang out. It is going to be fun. I'm going to be looking at some stuff to do with this base here and other stuff. We'll see what happens. See you on the stream. So yeah, streaming now. Come and hang out. Twitch.tv/IP_guitars. Wait, guitars. So yeah, streaming now. Come and hang out. It is there. Gonna be fun. Gonna be looking at. Now, earlier today in the morning, I was watching actually one of Jack Patillo's streams, like VOD archive stuff. I am gonna move this a little bit so you don't get that much glare off of the window there. Yeah, and he was using the audio from the YouTube audio library, which is what I do, but I've been playing it off my computer. I don't know why I haven't done this before, running it straight through YouTube, because I get more music that way. So right now we have a couple of different filters where we have cinematic, rock, and jazz blues stuff. Longer than 4 minutes and no attribution required. We have 69 songs and I'm pretty sure that we'll get through just fine with these settings. Well, first things first though, what I'm gonna do is I need to film a small clip for next week's Celeste video, which is gonna be about the fretboard. But the fretboard was started back in Crimson, so I need to film a sort of small little clip of me looking at old stuff, and I might as well do it now. So what we're gonna do is switch the mode. There we go. Now you see, and here you see the songs that I'm actually gonna be playing throughout the stream. Let's have a look at stuff. So, actually, I need to do a sort of thing here first. All right, before we get into it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go have a look at the fretboard being made. Well, the fretboard being worked on. So I'm gonna cut the frets in the past, as it were. And we're gonna have a look at how I went about doing that. So yeah, basically I had gotten this Carillion Birch fretboard blank from one of my favorite stores in Helsinki, and I didn't need to do too much processing to it because it was already at roughly the right sizes. I cut it down to about 60 mil all the way through, and now I'm just using the super glue and masking tape trick to get it onto a fret slotting template. Yep, don't do this. I'm using the butt of my knife and I have the knife pointing up. So what I'm doing here is very, very bad. Don't do that, because somebody comes and bumps into you, you'll stab yourself in the eye. Meanwhile, look at my face. I've been working on ebony today, clearly, or on that day, because there's quite a lot of dust on my face. Some accelerator on one bit, and then making sure that I'm getting it in the right spot. Yeah, this is by far one of the easiest ways to get your frets cut. I've been cutting things by hand with a saw that just is not sharp, so I would need to get a new saw or get that one sharpened. But yeah, this method is 50 times easier. And as you can see here in the background, there's the Wrath baritone right there hanging up, and this is the neck for the scum. So let's move ahead to the circular fret cutting saw. And this is a tool that I really, really miss, and something that I think I'm going to get set up when I get my own workshop, because it just makes cutting frets so much faster. I can set the depth of my fret slots, and then there's a little pin that gets attached to, or pin that locates according to these little divots on the template. And this one is a 25.5 and a 24.75 on the other side. So very handy. I think it's from like Stu Mac or something. But yeah, and a very thin blade there on the saw. So it makes for very quick work. Get everything nice and flat. Of course, that means that all the fret slots are exactly the same depth all the way through, which means that when I'm going to do the radius, that everything's at the same depth, though it's not as deep on the edges, and then it's a lot deeper in the middle. So that's just one of those things that kind of sucks about this, but gets the job done. Especially because I used glue to glue in the frets. That kind of clears out those voids a bit better. So there's not huge gaps in the fretboard. Huge. I'm talking about like a couple of mil. Well, not even a couple of mil, like halves and thousands of mil. But yeah, it's very quick work. Doing this by hand would take forever. And then at the very end, I get the double lines. And note, the blade is going like this. So if I were to pull with the saw, it would jump. So pushing instead, so it's actually cutting through instead of jumping through. And it gives me a much, much cleaner cut. Then coming back once I've cut that slot. There we go. Nicely done. And yeah, that is about that I needed to do on let's add some music back in here. Yeah, so that's about that I needed to do on computer here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on the base over there. So I need to get everything set up, get the camera in the right place, and get some light in here. So sorry for the oh wait, but you're not probably getting all the excess noise because I have a mic attached to my person, so you're not getting any camera noise. I don't think. It shouldn't, at least. So, this is what we're going to be working on today. Let's add some light. There we go. And yeah, it's going to pull up my laptop so I can monitor the stream. Then we're going to get going. So essentially, this is a rock bass. So a fairly rock bass by Warwick. So one of the cheaper Warwick basses that you'll find. And I'm just having a quick glance over, seeing if there's anything that needs to be done with it. And yeah, so far it doesn't have a backplate, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a backplate for it out of this piece of birch. And yeah, it's already been cleaned. The fretboard has been oiled, looks nice. Some cracks in it, but that's nothing that we can do. A little bit of dust. It is an old bass after all, but it's got a lot of dinks into it. The frets look horrid. They are absolutely almost flat on the top, but I was told that I don't need to really do anything. This is being sold off pretty much afterwards. The frets do the job, and I don't know how, but I mean, I checked it. It's intonating fairly okay. What I do need to do is tighten the nuts on the on the pots, because they are pretty loose. You can see that if I turn, that pot turns with it. That's not ideal, so I'm gonna get that sorted as well. Get them tightened up, working the way they should. I'm just gonna do a quick check to see that my music is okay. Seems like it. All right, sweet. So let's get to it. There were, yeah, the screws on the tuners aren't going all the way in. So I'm gonna make sure that those go in all the way. They've been kind of sheared, and I suspect that the pilot holes just aren't deep enough. So what I'm gonna do is drill those out just a little bit. Gonna give me some music. Just for me to hear as well in the background. Where are all my smaller drill bits gone? I need to stock up on smaller bits. Oh, there we go. It's just in the wrong place. But yeah, I need to stock up on some smaller drill bits. No more than that is really necessary. I'm gonna put a little bit of wax so that I don't get that much resistance when I'm putting these in, because these have been sheared quite badly. So this should enable them to go in a bit smoother and all the way in. Yep, that did the trick. Nice. Where is the other one? Oh, there. There. A little bit of wax just to make this go in. Oh, geez. So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting because I thought about filming a proper video for creating a backplate for an instrument, but I'm just going to do it on stream and make a highlight. So, in order to make a back cavity for an instrument that doesn't have one, take a piece of paper and a pencil. And then we're just gonna move the camera a bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing a bit better. There. There. Now the chat window's kind of blocking things. There. Maybe that's better. All right. So. Making sure that my paper doesn't move here like that. Like so. There. Wonder. Where is it? There's one. And there's another. So now I have the placements for the holes. So we can drill through. All right, let us get our piece of whatever we're going to use. I am going to make sure that I have one edge which is completely square. Like so. There. this out roughly. Like so. Now, that is the square edge that we want. I'm gonna do it on here so I can see. So, good old super glue masking tape trick. Burnish that down. Now, the reason why I wanted a square edge was because now I can line up that edge along with that. Now, what helps me is actually cutting that edge straight. So, there. Now we have a flat. And yeah. Let's apply it. There. Now we have the back plate on there, glued on nice, and we're pretty much good to cut it out. I am gonna need to lift up this table ever so slightly, because working from down here is just gonna be a pain. Time to fix the camera angle again. Let's do a little bit more of a top down. Sweet. Coping saw time. All right, we're gonna get this cut out. that is pretty much that, but now we need to fine tune it. So, as you can see, it's not that pretty, and it could use a little bit of work. So, sorry for the noise, but now for the all-important test fit. And we're not expecting it to really fit at this point. Yeah, a little bit to go. And making backplates is always a little bit tricky, because getting them to fit is another thing entirely. What I'm doing is I'm just taking down the edge ever so slightly. Just get a nice little chamfer on there and clean it up so that none of that is obstructing it from being put in place. All right, looks like I have a little bit to go on. Sorry about the noise. Let's get that. You can also do this to get your edges square. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just laying it flat up against the table. Oops. What I could do is redo this, really make sure that the paper doesn't move. Get it as accurate as possible so that I can fine tune it. There, okay. Now let's try to reapply that onto the surface that we're working on and see how close we are. First things first, gotta get that flat piece worked out. So again, and I'm going to the inside of the line, essentially. Then cutting around. I wonder what would be the best way of doing this. Technically, I could take off this entire thing. Like so. And then, as you can see, it's not quite what we're looking for. So, fine tuning is needed. And this time, I am cutting out the whole shebang as accurately as possible. So the goal here is to make the backplate make the backplate, fit it, sand it, and stain it black. And I think that's pretty good for today. And then if I get that stuff done. Realizing why I have trouble in this. Ooh! This blade is not sharp. Ow. I had a drawer open and I crouched down onto it. That hurt ever so slightly. So, fresh blade. Let's get this whirl. Oh yeah, there we go. the difference a fresh blade makes. Yeah, there we go. Much better. And same story as per usual. Stick it on with super glue and masking tape. Clean it up. Now, I know we're not far off, but far enough to require adjustment still. There we go. Always apply glue on the thing that you're working on, so you don't get glue where you don't want it. Yeah, like I said, we're not far off, but a little bit to adjust. Oh, sorry. There. I don't know if you could actually see or make out any details on that, but you know, it is what it is. That's good. That's good. And yeah, while filing, I am holding it at a slight angle going inward, because if I have it going the other way, of course, it's not going to fit in the hole. If I have the angle going that way, it's going to sit in the hole a little bit better. Of course, it's not that drastic. It's just ever so slight. Sure, I could use a rasp that takes off a little bit more material, but I want to have as little stuff to adjust once this is all said and done. Yeah. Or I could even do this with a coping saw, really, with a good blade. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Do I have a... Yes, I do. I do have a rather nice blade to cut wood with. The kerf isn't too big, I don't think. This one is done. Actually, now that I look at it, the kerf is pretty big. All right, well, we'll try. Helps if I put the blade in the right way. Yep, sounds good. Come on. Come on. I'm leaving it ever so slight bit to adjust with the rasp or the file. Come on. Man, it's really giving me a lot of trouble. Ow! I was cutting and I just completely bumped into my thumb there. That hurt. I'll adjust the rest with the file. Just get a good finish on that. Sorry for the noise. Ooh. let's fit it. Still something not quite giving me a close fit. So, a little bit of adjustment to go. Still not fitting. All right, a little bit more to go. I'm going to turn the camera a bit so you can, there. I guess that makes a bit more sense. Oh man, I just realized I don't have any aluminum tape to shield this with. So, I guess we'll just make it black. The base hums, it hums. It's a very easy fix. This is pretty much a starter base. So, it's not like it's going to be sold off to a professional musician or anything like that, or somebody who's really serious about music, but it's definitely something that is ideal for a beginner. Okay, so it's evidently like here, that's giving me the issue. Can it really be that much? Evidently it can. It's always somewhat annoying to try and fit backplates that you're making by hand, because they will take a little while up until you can actually get them to fit properly. Let's have a look. Taking very little bit at a time, just to make sure. Okay, now that edge is fine. So now I need to take from there. A little bit more. Of a even chamfer here. See if that assists getting this in place. There. Whew. That's fitting perfectly up until here. And that's pretty good. So this part needs a little bit of fine tuning. And then from about here to about there. Okay. Whew. Good workout. Almost there. I can now take this off. It's not really providing me any assistance anymore. There. I can see the curves a bit better. So I do need to take an ever so slight amount off of here. I guess I could do all the way from here to here. Just give it a little bit extra care. Excuse me. Now that I have the paper off, I can actually see the shape of it. So it's much easier to adjust it to a uniform curve. You can see that there's a high spot right there. That got taken care of. Great. All right. And I'm looking at probably from around here onwards to right around the same spot onwards. We're almost there, getting very close. The edge is maintaining a squareness to it, so this is 120 that I'm using, so it actually is working pretty quick. One thing that I did do, which is pretty dumb of me. Oh! Hehe. I still have this. Okay, so I can mark out where the holes for the screws are. Let's have a look how it fits in there. Almost. Almost. All right, so now looking at from here onwards to about here onwards, and we're almost there. bevel again. Get that uniform all around. Yep. Okay, we are almost there. We have pretty much everything except this last bit here, which isn't sitting in. Yeah. Essentially. Here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Almost there. Come on. When I make this edit for the for YouTube, I really need to cut down quite a bit of material because this is uninteresting to watch. All right, ever so slight adjustment. And I know, I realize, anybody tuning in at this point, this just looks wrong on many levels. All right, sweet. Now, all we need to do is some rounding over, and we are there. So, Ta-da! A fitted backplate. Take a picture of that. Now we just need to mark out the placement of the holes for the screws to go through. So there's one there, one there, one there, there, and there. There we go. Get my drill out for the holes. Let's see, how big are they? Yep, 2 mil. Then let's do the countersink so the screws sit nice and flush. There. Now it's just a matter of sanding it. So let's get to that. This is the boring stage, so to speak. But it must be done. Fortunately, it's a very small area to actually sand, so it won't take that long. You need to bear in mind that once finish goes on this, it might expand ever so slightly. So with sanding, we're taking away some of that excess when we sand down the edges a bit more. There, sanding down the edge. just using my finger or the bends of my fingers here to actually create a round over to make that backplate look ever so slightly nicer. Now it's been 180'd, so 120'd, 180'd. Now is for do I seriously not have any 240 in here? That's pretty interesting. That's very interesting. All right, let's pick out some 240 from over here then. .240. Sweet. And 320. There. There we go, all well and good. Let us take another picture. Then clean everything up. And get ready for staining. All right, clean this up as well. Okay, so what we can do now is check that my mic is still active and working. It is indeed. All right, sweet. Let's take the table down a bit. Don't need it to be that high. A little bit of cleanup here for the things I don't need currently. That's all trash. goes in there. That's pretty much spent. It's still good. Always might have use for that, so keep that for the time being. Now is not the time to finagle that. Don't need the saw anymore. Always a good habit to have is just clean up the tools you don't need in a process any longer. That's for later, for other stuff. Don't need this. Take that away. Don't need that. Don't need glue right now. What I do need to do though is tighten up these. Because they are fairly loose. Come on. Okay, that's pretty tight. That is pretty tight. How badly does this one turn? It does quite a bit. Would be nice to get it off in that case. But I can't really put a screwdriver in between there because it'll damage the top. So I think that one we might have to just leave as is. But all the rest of them, however, it doesn't quite reach. Do it manually. Make sure that this doesn't move. And just tighten those up. This is really, really loose. There. Okay, put those back on. There. Sucks that I can't get that off because that's really loose now in comparison to the rest. Oh well. So, staining. Now, that's purple. That's blue. But where is my black? Haven't spent all of it, have I? Purple, blue, green, cherry red. But alas, there are no black. So I'm gonna have to use the spirit stain, which I was kind of hoping I wouldn't need to, because it's, you know, it smells. And annoying to get off my hands because I don't think I have any gloves anymore. Oh, yeah, I do. There we go. Gloves. To make sure I shake this a lot, I'm gonna open up a window to get some airflow because it is stinky, stinky stuff. All right. Gonna try and apply this pretty dry because it is wood and it's thin, so I don't want it warping or anything like that. I can slightly hear the music, and I'm wondering, what the hell is this? Sounds like from a horror movie or something. Let's see. Kindergarten, Coyote. Okay. Well, that ended, fortunately. that was very strange music. Seeing as the other side is blue, I'm gonna put some black on there too. Try and get that dulled down. Also good to keep in mind that if you're staining something this small or this thin, that you apply your finish on both sides so it doesn't warp on you. Because you don't need me to tell you that is annoying. Now yes, I could have painted this, but paint takes forever to dry. Stain does not. So yeah. I'm gonna let that sit for just a bit. And yeah, what are we gonna talk about? I guess we could talk about the fact that I finished putting in lumen lays on all the production necks. This is the MKH one. I still need to do the inlay on it. Just haven't had time, really, honestly. This is gonna take a fair bit for me to get everything finished up with the backplate. I'll post pictures on probably on the Instagram page, actually, about how this went. And yeah, go check that out. I think we're gonna end the stream here because it's just gonna be me essentially staining this and then oiling it and making it look nice and pretty. So to that end, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to tune in throughout the upcoming week because I am planning on streaming every single day leading up to my birthday on next week Sunday. So let's see how that goes. There's a couple of things I have planned for the week, so I'm gonna try and stream at times that don't interfere with that. And yeah, we'll see how things go. But thank you very much for watching. I am gonna sign off here and see you guys next time.